Did you know chocolate didn't start as the sweet treat we know today? In fact, for the Aztecs and Mayans, chocolate was a bitter, frothy drink reserved for royalty, warriors, and priests, and cacao beans were so valuable they were used as currency. Imagine paying your taxes with a handful of beans. Welcome to Behind the Barcode, the channel where we uncover the surprising stories behind the foods you eat every day. Today we're diving into the bittersweet history of chocolate, a journey that stretches from sacred rituals to supermarket shelves. Stick around because you'll never look at a candy bar the same way again. Chocolate's roots trace back thousands of years to the Olmecs of Mesoamerica, one of the earliest civilizations known to cultivate cacao. But it was the Mayans and Aztecs who truly elevated cacao into something extraordinary. For the Mayans, cacao wasn't just food, it was a connection to the divine. They prepared it as a frothy, bitter drink mixed with chili, vanilla, and spices. This sacred beverage was shared during ceremonies, marriages, and even offerings to the gods. The Aztecs valued cacao so highly that beans were used as currency. A few beans might buy a tamale, while larger amounts could pay soldiers or merchants. For their rulers, cacao was a luxury reserved for warriors, and nobility thought to provide energy, vitality, and even courage. Chocolate wasn't sweet back then. It was strong, bitter, and invigorating, more like coffee than candy. It was medicine, ritual, and currency all in one. So when Spanish explorers encountered cacao in the 1500s, they weren't just discovering a drink. They were stepping into a cultural treasure that had defined civilizations for centuries. When Spanish conquistadors returned to Europe with cacao, they brought back a drink that was unlike anything Europeans had ever seen. At first, the bitter flavor was difficult to embrace, but with the addition of sugar, cinnamon, and eventually milk, the drink transformed into something entirely new, sweet, rich, and irresistible. For European elites, chocolate quickly became the drink of choice. It wasn't just tasty, it was a status symbol. Served in ornate cups in aristocratic courts, chocolate was as much about showing wealth and refinement as it was about flavor. Its popularity spread rapidly through Spain, France, and eventually the rest of Europe, fueled by colonial trade networks. But this new love of chocolate came at a cost. As demand soared, European powers expanded cocoa cultivation into their colonies, relying heavily on enslaved labor. Chocolate's story in Europe is one of indulgence and innovation, but also of exploitation. By the 17th and 18th centuries, chocolate was firmly established in European culture. What began as a sacred Aztec drink had become a sweet luxury for the upper class and set the stage for its next transformation. Before we move on to how chocolate went from a luxury drink to the bars we all know today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Here on Behind the Barcode, we uncover the hidden stories of your favorite foods, and you won't want to miss what's coming next. The 19th century completely reshaped chocolate. In 1828, a Dutch chemist named Coenraad van Houten invented the cocoa press, which extracted cocoa butter from cacao beans. This left behind a fine cocoa powder. This made chocolate cheaper, smoother, and more versatile. Soon after, Swiss innovators like Daniel Peter and Henri Nestlé developed milk chocolate. They combined cocoa, sugar, and milk into the creamy product we know today. For the first time, chocolate could be molded into solid bars, making it easier to package, sell, and consume. Brands like Cadbury, Nestlé, and Hershey seized the moment. They transformed chocolate from an elite luxury into an everyday pleasure. Factories churned out affordable bars, and advertising campaigns linked chocolate with happiness, romance, and even holidays. Valentine's Day, Easter, and Halloween all became heavily associated with chocolate. This era was revolutionary. Chocolate became democratic. It left the courts of kings and entered the homes of ordinary people. But this mass production also deepened the global reliance on cacao farming, particularly in West Africa, where labor exploitation continues to shape the industry today. From sacred ritual to mass market product, chocolate had officially become a global phenomenon. Today, chocolate occupies two worlds: indulgence and wellness. On one hand, candy bars filled with sugar and additives dominate supermarket shelves. On the other, dark chocolate and cacao are praised as superfoods. Modern research has uncovered that cacao is rich in flavonoids, plant compounds with antioxidant and anti-inflammatory anti-inflammatory effects. Studies suggest dark chocolate can help support heart health, circulation, and even brain function. A small piece of high-quality dark chocolate might actually be good for you. But there's a catch. Most commercial chocolate is so heavily processed and sweetened that those benefits are largely lost. A typical candy bar is more sugar and fat than cacao. So while dark chocolate may earn a health halo, milk chocolate and candy don't deserve the same reputation. Another layer of chocolate's modern story is ethics. Cocoa farming today often involves low wages, poor working conditions, and child labor. Consumers are increasingly turning to fair trade and sustainable brands in hopes of making a difference. Chocolate then is more than just a treat. It's a mirror of our food system, showing how ancient wisdom, industrial progress, and modern science all collide in one bittersweet bite. From the sacred ceremonies of the Aztecs to the factories of the Industrial Revolution, chocolate's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. It has been money, medicine, luxury, and comfort food. Today, it's both a guilty pleasure and a symbol of global trade, a story as rich and complex as the flavor itself. Thank you for watching Behind the Barcode, where we explore the fascinating histories hiding in your pantry. If you enjoyed this dive into chocolate's past, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Join us for the next episode where we uncover another surprising food story. And now we'd love to hear from you. Do you prefer dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Drop your answer in the comments below.